Yes, folks, this will be a challenging one. I don't know how this one's going to turn out looking nice. We're going to soon find out, see if we can turn this into something nice. Okay, what is this difficult one? It looks easy, but it's not. It's a piece of some kind of satin, some kind of fabric. We're going to utilise that. We're going to have to scrunch it up to make it into anything that we could call interesting, and this is the tricky bit, trying to get a good scrunch with one hand. So trying to get a good scrunch with one hand and put it on the glass, squash it down, and hope it turns out nice. And it's just going to spring back into its usual shape. Yeah, it looks shit house. Looks really shit. I think we've made it too light as well. It's just a crap. Looks like crap. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try and scrunch it up once again. Now one hand. So scrunch it up and maybe not squash it as hard. Maybe just a little bit on there. Yeah, that looks a bit more promising. Looks a bit too simple as well. Still looks too minimalist. You just don't know what you're going to get until you print it out. So I'm just going to try that again. I'm going to try and maybe hold it on the glass and just scrunch it like that. Just hope that it comes up looking a treat. Yeah, that looks more interesting. Still got a bit of my hand there, which I didn't want. Just there, my finger. Try another one. Try and scrunch it up again, leaning on the glass, and just show you what's inside, what I'm doing. So that's what I've got there, and that's what we're going to just put it down on the glass, and hopefully I can hold my hand steady enough. Yeah, it looks interesting. I do like it to some extent, and other ways I don't. that's that one. That one looks nice. I don't know. I'm going to do another one. Yeah, folks, I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news on Channel 10. Channel 10? No, I'm sorry, I meant Channel 9. Channel 10 did me something. I remember my first TV drop was Channel 10. And I tried to get them, this was like more than 10 years ago now, but I still haven't forgotten. It was my first TV discs that I submitted for broadcast. And basically I tried to make it saucy and scandalous, because I figured that you need a bit of sensationalism to get the TV channel interested, something shocking. So I decided to employ some nudity in my work, and I ended up not getting broadcast but having the police contacted regarding what I did. And it was so embarrassing and so humiliating, but that I tried my best to try and make it newsworthy, because I still haven't seen any airplay from Channel 9 or any of the other 4 channels, including Channel 10. I haven't seen any kind of airplay. So I don't know what it is I need to make my work more appealing to the TV channels. So I'm trying my best to do something about it. I'm trying my best, and it's really hard trying to get them enthused about what I'm presenting to them, and it really is kind of difficult. And I'm trying my best. I'm not using nudity anymore. It's embarrassing, that shit. That was really embarrassing. But I tried, it's like I tried to make an effort, tried to make them interested in my fucking work, and they just didn't want it. And they just got me into a little bit of a... Fortunately, I didn't get into trouble, but I was really embarrassed about it. Now, this user interface is a pain. The photocopiers are not well. Fuck, no, I don't want auto-rotate. Fuck auto-rotate. Stupid company building this photocopier by the man, his name is Shai Yamana. Now we're on a tangent here. And basically, yeah, he doesn't know how to build any good copier systems. And that's another thing I have to talk about, is the way the photocopier industry is going. They just don't care about their product or about the people that it services. They just care about themselves and their fucking money. And they're just such evildoers, such evil, horrible people that you get in that industry. And that's come up looking quite interesting. Not quite what I'm after. But yeah, the photocopier industry is full of shit. It's full of assholery. Full of stupid people who just care about money and don't care about anything else. And I just get so over them, folks. So fucking over them. No, that's too light. I just get so fucked up over these dum-dums that rule the industry. The photocopier does need a redesign. I'm hoping to redesign the whole thing from scratch one day. Because one of the things about photocopiers is that the hardware doesn't last long enough. The hardware, the stuff that we have here, only lasts a relatively short time, like 5 years. And basically, we want the hardware to last like 60 years instead of 5 years. And we want the software to be what's upgraded, not the hardware. We want the software upgraded. So we need to make software available as apps. Instead of putting it in the factory, you make apps. You create your own apps or create your own apps. Is it possible to do that, folks, for a person who's not a programmer? That could be an exciting possibility when we look into it in future. But basically, the photocopier industry needs a change, and we need to make the software more flexible and more interesting, as well as more usable. We need artificial intelligence driving these equipments. We need to put artificial intelligence in these equipments. There's so much work now being done with AI, and a lot of it is bad stuff like scams and what they call deep fakes. And they're so powerful, and they can mimic our voices. You can have Steve Jobs being interviewed in 2013, and he's long gone. So you can create all this stuff, and music, making music with it. Potentially sending musicians broke. So there's all these uses for AI, and how good it would be if we could put it into a fucking photocopier and make it useful that way. And the mind boggles, but the photocopier industry hasn't thought about it. They don't care. They're not smart enough. They're not interesting enough. They just care about making a quick dollar. And they've produced this shitty user interface that's meant to be like a fucking phone, but it's not like a phone really. And it's just a load of shit. It's just fucking clumsy, as you saw earlier on. And these features are so limited. This is legacy software from previous generations of equipment. Whatever happened to the people that put it in here? The smart people, what people known as the photocopier nerds, known as toner heads. Photocopier nerds, the technical term for a photocopier nerd is a toner head. And toner heads are needed to create a better outcome in the industry, but they've been snubbed and made redundant. Apparently they were made redundant en masse back in 1997, 1998. And since then they haven't had any kind of sway in how things are done. So they don't have any control over anything. They're just fanboys and fangirls essentially, just like Apple and the fangirls and fanboys. And the fucking Tim Cook is an asshole. He's all about money. But basically, we get back to this. We need to make the hardware last 60 years, not 5 years. And we've got to make the photocopier, the hardware out of materials that have been dumped. This is our last piece. We've got to make them out of materials that have been dumped. So places like India and China with their e-waste dumps could potentially be candidates for having their backyards cleaned up, so to speak. Cleaned up so that they can drink the water and swim in the water and make crops, put crops on the land, and just fucking give the place a really good clean up instead of this shitty, dirty, filthy crap this left behind by fuckwits who build this shit. They don't make anything new on these equipments. They're so fucking boring. I saw a Konica Minolta truck incidentally a couple of days ago. It had the words on the sides in so many words. I don't remember the exact verbatim, but it basically said this truck has the future of the office, or something stupid, dumb like that, which is a lie because they don't change anything. There's nothing futuristic about this shit. There's nothing futuristic, folks. That's bullshit, Shai Yamana. You're a fucking charlatan. You're a fucking con artist. You're a fuckwit. Go fuck yourself, Shai. I hate you and your company. Konica fucktard, dumb Minolta. Fuckwit. Really, we've got to change it. So we've got to clear the e-waste dumps of the world, like in India and China. And we've got to make these equipments. How should I put it? There's just so much I have to say about this shit, folks. But basically, we have to make a difference to the world. And we have to give to the poor people, donate our money instead of keeping it for ourselves and our fucking selfishness, like these dum-dums. So, you know, we got to, and wouldn't it be nice if we could make the hardware be made available in interesting finishes? Like, instead of just plain old plastic and brown, this colour and that colour, why not make coloured aluminium like Steve Jobs with his iPod mini series of iPods, where he made them in all sorts of colours in aluminium, anodised aluminium. So, you know, make something a bit more imaginative with the equipment, you know, instead of this shit. And other metals I'd like to make available would be titanium, which will be used on the chassis of the equipment, titanium and stainless steel, and something really, really high-tech, a ceramic material known as Alon, which is basically being called transparent aluminium. So Alon stands for aluminium, oxygen and nitrogen, if I remember correctly. And basically that's like see-through. It's like glass. It looks like glass. And imagine being able to see some of the stuff going on inside your photocopier. Wouldn't that be exciting? Or even more exciting is Samsung tried creating a see-through cell phone or mobile phone. So we can make see-through, potentially you can make a see-through user interface, which would be really nice, really funky as a choice. It would of course cost a bit more, but it's basically, it's an option. So, you know, we've got to make these equipments really, really user-friendly, and we've got to make the AI can potentially interact with the apps to make it automatic, but you can also have a manual override as well. You don't have to make it totally automatic. This machinery's got to be customizable. It's got to fit everyone's needs, not fucking just one size fits all like we have here. So we've got to change how things are done, and we've got to make the world a better, cleaner and greener and happier place for all, instead of just for the rich or the elite, like Shayamana. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's come up looking. I don't know if I like it, but it looks really quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.